Hi everyone, this is Solving Two-Step Equations Part 2. So in the first example we did some simple examples, and now we're going to do a few where you have to think a little bit more. Alright, so this would be number 4 in your notes, if you're taking notes. So remember, our first step was to move anything connected by addition or subtraction, because we're trying to get y by itself, right? So I think I'm going to move this 4 here because it's attached by addition or subtraction. So this is a negative 4. What is the opposite of negative 4 or minus 4? Opposite of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 4 gives me 0. Then I'm left with y over 7 equals, sorry, I don't know why I'm going out of focus. Y over 7 equals 5. All right? Now, what operation is being done here? So how am I going to get y by itself? How do I get rid of this 7? Well, this is a division problem, right? Y is being divided by 7. So since it's being divided by 7, the opposite of division is multiplication. So I need to multiply this by 7, right? So 7 times y over 7, and then whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So these two 7s are going to cancel here. Alright, because if I have 7, that's like I have 7 over 1, right? Times y over 7. And I multiply those, I would get 7y over 7. And then 7 divided by 7 is just 1. So all I'm left with is y. So that's where that comes from. But I'm just going to kind of scribble this out here. That was just a little explanation. Alrighty. Now I got rid of my 7 over here, so all that's left is y equals 5 times 7 is 35. Alright, now if we were to check this problem, I plug in y here, what I got for my y value, and for any y I see in the equation. So negative 4 plus y over 7, so 35 over 7 equals 1. Alright, so I have negative 4. Remember my order of operations when I'm solving, when I'm simplifying. So plus, what is 35 divided by 7? That is 5 equals 1. Alright, now remember, if you have trouble remembering the division problems, just think of rotating this clockwise, so this way. So it would be 35 over 7 would become a division problem like that. 35 divided by 7. And we know that that is 5. Alright, so negative 4 plus 5 equals 1. So 1 equals 1. That problem we did correctly. Alright, so I moved this negative 4 here. I undid my division by multiplying, and then I got my answer. So same concept here. Our a is just on the other side of the equation. So let's work this one out. Alright, so I have 6 equals a over 4 plus 2. Alright, so first step, I need to get rid of anything attached to the a by addition or subtraction here. So this positive 2 is attached by addition. What is the opposite of addition? It's subtraction. So I'm going to subtract by 2 on both sides of the equal sign, right? That's going to cancel because 2 minus 2 is 0. So 6 minus 2 is going to give me 4 equals a over 4. All right. Now remember, I'm trying to get A by itself. So whatever else is connected to A, I need to move it on over to the other side so that A is by itself. All right, so A is being divided by 4, right? So what's the opposite of division? That is multiplication, right? So I can multiply these two, and whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other side, so I have to multiply by 4 on the left as well. These two 4s will cancel because, like I mentioned up here in the notes, it's just going to be 1 or 1A, so A is all that's left over here, and I have 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. So A equals 16, or you could say 16 equals A. It doesn't matter. All right, so just because our A was on the other side of the equation, it didn't really change things. It's just the way that they are sometimes, the way that these equations work. Eventually, we might do some where we have variables on both sides of the equation, but we'll get there probably later in the week. All right, so let's check. We have 6 equals 16 over 4 plus 2. And I had A on top of 4 here, so my A was 16, so I put that 16 right there. So 6 equals 16 divided by 4, right? If I just rotate this clockwise. So I have 4 goes into 16. It would look like that. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then I'm left with plus 2 over here. So 6 equals 4 plus 2 is 6. So it checks out. All right, last problem here. So back to another simple one. All right, get rid of anything connected to the x by addition or subtraction. Well, I have a minus 1 here. What's the opposite of minus? Plus, right? I'm going to add 1. Whatever I do on the left side, I have to do on the right side of the equal sign, okay? So now I have 9x equals 80 plus 1 is 81. Now, I need to undo any multiplication or division. So what operation is being done between 9 and x? Well, 9 times x would give me 9x, right? So these two are being multiplied. You don't have to put that dot. I'm just putting that for a visual. They're being multiplied. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So I'm dividing by 9, not x, right? And the reason I'm dividing by 9 and not 81 is that I need to move this number that's with the x. I need to get rid of it. So in order to do that, I have to divide by the number connected to x, not the one over here. So whatever's connected to x, that's the one that has to go. All right, so what's 9 divided by 9? That's just 1, right? So I'm left with x, or 1x, equals 81 divided by 9 is 9. All right, and if I wanted to check, I'll just plug in my 9 anywhere I saw an x. So 9 times x, which is 9, minus 1 equals 80. All right, so 9 times 9 is 81. And if I subtract 1, will it equal 80? 81 minus 1 is 80, and 80 does equal 80. So that answer will work. All right, so just again to mention the steps. First, I get rid of anything connected by addition or subtraction. All right, so any number off to the side without the variable, I need to get rid of it. Second, I need to undo division or multiplication, whatever is holding this number very close to the variable. I need to undo it. So in this case, it was division. In this case, it was multiplication. So I had to do the opposite of those two operations to get A by itself. So the opposite of division is multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division. I hope these videos helped you get a better understanding of solving two-step equations. Like I said before, this is something you're definitely going to be using for the rest of your math career, the rest of your time in school. So this is very important that we kind of get an understanding of it now so we can build on that later.